things to do, and we need these people trained. And what am I going to see? If I don't see a picture clipped from Google because you're writing Google right away, what am I going to see in the back of this sheet?
A drawing of the description.
A drawing.
Hand drawn.
Got it? A simple drawing. Because sometimes this is all you got when you go to Mr. Milchester. Mr. Milchester, I think this is a 20%. You got to close it right away if I haven't closed it already. Because a lot of these are drive-through. Got it? So now you got to realize that the order is very important. Because I originally called you to schedule an appointment. So what do you got to do?
Schedule.
You've got the basic information here, right? Okay. Where's it located on the building? May I have your email for proposal purposes? Well, now you're gonna start. You're gonna say, I need to give you a number. I gotta give you a number for this job, right? So now they're like, okay, because you're gonna pull this. This is right out of Tom Hopkins. They call for an appointment. You're about to give them an appointment and say, let me take a look at my appointment book. And you always go out, Sarah?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's Thursday or the following Tuesday. 2 weeks out.
So it's always the 2 weeks Thursday,
Or
the following week Tuesday, Wednesday, which is better for you. And why do we do that?
To give the illusion that we're swamped and that we're doing them a favor.
And if they tell you, oh my God, that's not going to work for me, I need you you sooner.
I can let you know if there's any cancellations.
Would you like to have you put in and put you into a cancellation? If a cancellation comes in and you've already prepaid for the examination, I can put your head of the line. Right? So another selling technique, right? But also when you close for that date, what's the first thing they say? Because that's a close. That's a Tom Hopkins close. You're closing. It's a soft close. I just need you to initial right here. And what are you going to get? Objection or?
A condition.
Or a condition. Right? I'll let you do it if you can do it by this Thursday. So if I do it by this Thursday, you'll give me the job. So you've already closed. It's called a soft close. It's called a close that comes through the drive-through. So here's the best part though. As you're calling for this, you ask for this email, this is when you're going to have the first close because you're going to do an email and soft close. So make a note on there. Soft close a date. Give them the date by the time you ask them for their email. Now this is where you're going to come in and say, they're going to say, well, how much is it? Right? Because you have to give them a price. And the price is going to be standard, guys. It's going to be $189 to $489, or it's going to be $389 to $989. You know where you're going to land. You got to find out if the region is a region we're popping. If we're trying to pop into a region, you want the price higher or the price lower. So you're doing all this what do you call pre-testing and you're going to get objections from these people. Say, listen, if you have a concern, you say, let me put you on hold for a minute and do what? Confirm Mr. Milchez what?
The price.
I'm gonna tell this guy $389. What do you think? Great, fine, I agree. So you're gonna discount it from the normal $489 to $389. Or you're going to discount it from the normal $789 to the $689, whatever the magical number is going to be. Plus, you can always add a travel tax. What's this travel tax mean?
Well, we don't want to let them know it's a travel tax either, though, because you want them to think that since we're nationwide, that we have somebody in their area.
So if they're in our service area, which is another script you guys are going to learn. So if you're in our St. Louis service area within 50 miles, it's going to be $489. You're just outside that. So you know what? It's going to be $989. You're going to add a tax of $300 to $500. And what is that for? That is to cover for us, most likely, instead of us sending out somebody from St. Louis, we're going to get a local engineer to work on our behalf, gather the knowledge that we need so we can put the report together and do what? And for that, it's going to be $989.
So you have to pay the engineering fees for that.
Got it? So this is where everything takes a turn. You're going to close for the appointment. And every objection is going to start right there. This is pure order taking. Got it? Because you've asked for the email because you're going to send them a proposal, and they're going to say, okay, that Thursday is great, and they won't even ask you how much it's going to cost. Or before I okay that, what is going to be the cost? Say, great. Well, let me see have you described it to me, what you already described, based on what you described to me earlier, and what I can see on the map now, that typical system, which if you go on our website, you can see 5 basic fire escape systems. And you're basically a category 3. On a category 3, those are $389, $489. But because you have a cantilevered system on the bottom, had it been a straight ladder, fixed ladder, we would have done it for $489. But because you have a ladder, it's going to be $389. Now, on our websites, Reg 4LA, $89 for an inspection or free evaluation or $100 off coupon. What's that mean? Yes, Sarah. I mean, you're the only one answering these questions. I apologize. Sarah's the only one answering these questions.
I just want to make sure, because if you want them to
No,
answer
she knows, but
yeah,
yeah,
the
it's not just
$89
knowing, it's doing them too, because from now on, this is everything that she's saying, she knows, she's gonna be doing, because right now, you can't say you know, but not do it. You can't say you heard it, but I don't know it, because nobody's watching me. There's none of that crap going on anymore. Go ahead, Sarah, go ahead.
$89 is for a ladder only. The
Kind of ladder? Fixed,
regular
moving ladder?
Fixed, not a drop down, just a regular
So
fixed
what
ladder.
is the drop down? Mine's a drop down. Mine has weights and balances.
A drop down would be, let's see, for just
a ladder.
Just the drop down ladder, then that one would be $189.
There you go. So 89, 189. So that's a little bit of bait and switch. Yeah, it's a little bit bait and switch. But what is it? It lets you say to our competition, what's 89 mean?
89 means that we'll inspect this.
We'll inspect your fixed ladder for $89.
And nothing
Does it move? Yeah. Then it's $189.
Then it's a cantilever.
Then it's a cantilever weight balance. Yes.
This is probably kind of not really, but I always drive around and I notice that 1-story buildings have a ladder, fixed ladder already fixed to the. Is that considered a fire escape as well? But it doesn't have a second story. So how would the people egress from the top, from the roof down?
No, that's a roof
Ladder.
for the firemen.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's still considered a fire escape. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Still needs to be examined. So Sarah, so we've got these all our websites have this $89 deal all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we talk people into $389s and $489s?
Because we can go ahead and let them know that we'll come out, we'll inspect your ladder, but if you want a full examination, a preload test visual examination on your entire fire escape system, then the price would be this, and that'll come with the report, and that'll go ahead and also come with us giving you repair numbers, and if you move forward with us on repairs, then the
Well, you say that kind of fast, so you got to slow down. But by the way, you got to record these things, because the only way we're going to see whether she's saying all the right things or not is where's all your recordings. How many recordings do you have of all your sales calls? Okay, so you're going to have to start. So for a whole 30 days, you're going to record sales calls. And what's the purpose, Mr. Milches?
Practice, rehearse, develop. You need to understand how you're communicating, how you're potentially, if you're recording the call, how you're being communicated to, what your responses are. Are you clear? Are you concise?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that the communication is
They may be
exactly as
asking you a
scripted.
question and you answer some totally other question. Well, you're going to know that when you guys, in sales, in outbound sales, not even inbound sales, we used to sit in one phone with 4 guys, one phone, and we'd all take turns pounding the phone, and a lot of times on speakerphone, so that everybody else can listen, and we'd all be scratching, as you're sitting there trying to script the client, everybody else would be answering and throwing something in front of you with a little piece of paper so you can learn. But if you record it, you're able to go back and tear it apart. I have audios of sales calls that you can listen to. Why? Whether I did it right or wrong doesn't matter. Do you understand the story that they're bringing? Do you understand what's really happening? Because you need to answer their questions with what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? So, recording your CSR order taking is going to be very important for us to develop, because you're going to memorize the script, then you're going to internalize the script through knowledge. As soon as you know the backstory, your story, my story, the client's story, and they're not even telling you the story. You know what I'm saying? Oh, for my own goodness of my heart, before the insurance company comes here, I'm just checking out this 3rd floor attic space. that I put in a kitchen without a permit, and I think it's okay because all right, can we just cut through the crap?
Pardon
had
me,
an
did you say
insurance
that you
visit.
did you say you had a second kitchen in place right now? Well, I appreciate what you're telling me. So what I want to make sure I do is educate you if I do nothing else on this call, so you can go and do whatever you feel is necessary for your, for yourself, your company, your
And
building.
that's exactly what you had.
Okay.
Yeah. You fix their story with the law, and as soon as you fix the story with the law, then the truth comes out, and you say you have two problems: a violation, but you're leaving here with what? Financial problem. Okay. So you're coming down. My God, all this in 7 minutes? I don't know. 7 minutes to get to a 20%. Remember that. This is a script that in 7 minutes you got to pull the plug to say, okay, I've got an 80%er. Now you need an excuse to get off of this. You know what I'm saying? Great. Let me see if I can get a specialist to speak with you because you want to leave them at the website. Let me send you the care package. So I've got.
Can I suggest something else too?
Sure.
While we're doing this, guys, we're going to also, with the 30 days, we're going to do the recording. Also 30 days, I want you guys to have a timer. Whether you have a phone, whether you use your phone, your...
Best timers, go pick them up at Walmart. Egg timers.
Egg timers, absolutely.
'Cause they're
But
great.
you guys
They go,
want to... I want you guys to feel
and they're cheap, no batteries, yes.
It also says on the phones.
Yeah,
But are you watching it to the point where
Yeah.
it's as soon as it hits 7 minutes, you're hitting the eject button, and I don't think
Yeah.
we're doing it yet. I can tell you, I'm not. I was talking with Mr. Manessis, and we had this guy on the phone, and I debriefed with him, and he said, "So what's the problem?" I said, "It took me 22 minutes to get to this, and I need to get it from here to here." So I recognized it, and we just need to get, because when we open the floodgates and we open the valves and we start seeing more inbound activity, we need to be better at handling them. 7 minutes up and or out. We'll take more time with the 20%ers, but on the 80%ers, out. 7, out. 6.5, out.
And it's usually when you're asking for the appointment or closing for the inspection fee, and they give you some other information. So a lot of times you may have a situation where you train your CSRs so that by the 5 to 7 minute mark, they're already ejecting themselves out. Let me get a specialist to call you back, because now the senior inspector is going to play with those. You guys understand? So anybody that's a rookie that just comes in, they have to fill this out, and they have to determine whether or not it's a possible 20%er, because it goes all the way through the drive-through. Great. If it doesn't, you know what you got to do? You gotta eject out. Got it?
I can't believe it, guys. Sorry. I mean, in a matter of 4 hours, this thing has gone from workable to it falling apart. Unbelievable. I've worn out shoes before, believe me, and this is the first time I've ever done it sitting still.
All right, guys. Next question. May I ask how you found out about our company? What's important about that question, Sarah?
We want to find out the source so that way we know if the ads that we're placing on Google or whatever are actually worth it.
So now, this question is too open-ended. You cannot just ask them, how'd you find this? Because they're going to say the word internet, they're going to say the word Google, and it actually defines a whole bunch of different ways. What you want to say is, you want to ask them, may I ask how you found out about us, how you found out about our company? They're going to say, oh, the internet or Google. Great. Are you on, you're going to name the various websites. Are you on our, calling from LA, are you on our LA website, or are you on our Farscape Engineers site? You give them a couple of options so they can, that'll open up their mind. They're going to tell you one of them. Gather that information, move on.
Yeah, even if they just say that I just was looking at Google and your number was right there, then at least we'd know that it was just straight Google.
Yep. Did you receive a violation or a warning from the city? What's that mean? Violation or warning?
Warning is verbal, violation is written.
The most important thing is a lot of people don't understand that even though they got a warning, it still comes with 30 days, and they got a written violation that takes sometimes 2 weeks to get to them, and then they give them 30 days. In either case,
It's still a violation of the law.
and why are we asking for them from a fire marshal or building inspector? Why is that important?
So we can go ahead and know in that specific area who would be in charge of the fire
Yeah, because in the U.S., 40 out of 50 states, you're going to be calling fire prevention all the time. In 10 out of the 50 states, you're going to be calling the building department. So Massachusetts is a building department only. You'll never speak with fire. So you better know in Pennsylvania, in Virginia, you better know all the various states that as soon as you get there, you have to find out. This will help you quickly decide who gave them the violation. And you know what's missing in here? Who gave you the violation? You're supposed to put insurance company in here too. Let's get insurance company in here. That's the three options. Did you get a written or verbal violation from the fire marshal, the building inspector, or the insurance company, insurance inspector? And what is your deadline violation? Can I get the name of your inspector or the insurance agent and a phone number? And can I get a copy? And you said, do you have a copy of the violation in front of you right now? We want the original copy, but what can you suck out of there right now while they have it in front of their hands?
Well, while they're holding it, you can go ahead and at least get the name, the phone number, who wrote it.
Right, and a violation number whenever possible. So you need all the information and say, please, can I get a fax of that? Because I need to attach that to your inspection report. So the reason why you want a copy is because you need to attach that to the copy of the inspection report, so when it goes back to the city official, what's he use? His own report to identify what?
The property.
The property. He knows he wrote a report because he's getting a copy of it back. The next one. Caller's mailing address if different from above. This is when you have an investor. You know, my property is here, but I live there. That's what that's important for. When authorized to perform an inspection, we will have access to the fire escape system. What's this mean?
Do they need to get inside, or can we just do it from the ground?
We're always going to do it from the ground. So every fire escape inspection, just so you know. This
Is it
question is
long?
really about, is your yard in the back closed off by a gate?
Is there an attack dog? Is there a rottweiler?
Right, so can I get to your backyard? Yes, you can. Great. Do you need to go through the apartments? We never have to go through an apartment, and why is that? What do we always bring during an inspection?
A ladder if needed.
We always bring these telescopic ladders. You pick them up at what do you call it, Sherwin-Williams, and they telescope up to 12 feet or up to 18 feet. And we have both. So you show up with an inspection ladder, and I'll get one for this area over here, so that whenever we show up at a job site, well, how do we get on them? How do we get up them? You better just take off your shoes, man.
Well, this one's done, man. This one is done. Wow, this is impressive. This is impressive.
Well, hopefully your job will help you buy new shoes. So with that being said, you guys understand? The question is not about can we get into the apartments. The question is can we get to the backyard? And if we get to a fire escape and we can't use our ladders, even though we brought them, we can't get access to it because we're in the backyard, but it's just too high. It's 22 feet in the air. What can we do with our inspection binoculars and our inspection zoom cameras? What can we do?
Check out all the connections.
We can check out all the connections from the ground. So we can do a full-blown fire escape inspection from the ground. Is it the best?
No.
Is it doable?
Yes.
Yes. Got it? Yes, sir.
Just for the record, I do have binoculars and I have my own camera, so good to go.
That was part of the hiring requirement. When you got hired,
Yeah.
what was the one thing you need to have?
Binoculars, computer, mobile phone, internet access, and
Laptop.
laptop.
Right?
Laptop.
Digital camera.
Yeah, all
Okay.
that I took care of already.
That's why I hired you, man. And you have an iPad.
And an iPad.
There you go. All right, so I'm sorry, the specialist is currently on the other line with a client. Is it possible for him to give you back a call back when he becomes available? Please take down my name, and if no one calls you in the next 15 minutes to half hour, not 1 hour, not half hour to an hour, please give me a call back. My name is Sarah. What's that all about, Sarah?
That's the way that they know. It goes ahead and puts a little bit more high priority on them, so that way they feel like we're actually going to go ahead and go out of our way. By giving your name to them and telling them that if nobody calls you back, then or call me or I'll call you and stuff like that, then it goes ahead and lets them know that we actually do care and we're here to help them.
Right. It gives them a name. So Gabe, Sarah, if you guys basically say, listen, I'm going to give you, I need to have a specialist call you back because right now, if you have to give this off to a specialist, is this a drive-through order? Is this an 80 or a 20?
If you have to give it to a specialist,
Yeah.
then it's going to be an ostrich, like a 20%er.
It's going to be a 20%er. That's the only reason it's ever going to go to a specialist.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
the
do
80%
you have enough
is just-
information to close and give them a number?
Yeah, the 80%ers would just.
Okay,
give them
even a 20%er, right? Can you give a number to an 80 and a 20%er?
Yes.
Now, if in order for it to go to a specialist, why would that be? What would cause it to be a specialist only?
Something like Beaumont, Texas, for example.
Well, actually what it is residential, our training, our CSR staff will be able to handle all 80s and all 20s. Only a small, rare few of the 20% is in the residential mix you'll have to hand over to a specialist, and that specialist will be a senior CSR. Got it? Now, when does it become an important specialist request? Is when you got a commercial, institutional call on the line,
Like
and it's
Harvard or
fire escape
hospital.
engineers, and it's a 20%er.
Like Harvard or
Okay,
hospital.
because right now the 80%ers on the commercial side, you're already going to handle it. You're going to already hand it in the CSR to the senior CSR. So as soon as you get a call here that says institution, it's not going to be handled by our standard training CSRs. It's going to go immediately to a senior CSR to handle a commercial 80-20. From there, in order for the commercial for it to go to the next level, it's going to be the 20%, and now that's a specialist, meaning it's a Harvard. It's really going to have to go to a management side of things to handle, to not lose that tuna off the hook. Got it? So order taking now has its priority as you go through here, and the cutoff for a lot of this, everybody will practice their bones residentially. Once you train and you learn all your scripts, you will become senior CSR, handling a lot of the commercial aspect of it, which is going to be pre-filled for you by the CSRs anyway, before they hand it off to you. You got that? By the time you get as a senior CSR a commercial, that's probably an 80%er, it's already been pre-filled out for you. Got it? Now let's take a look at this. Before disconnecting phone call, leave customer on website reviewing inspection criteria and load test page. What's that about? What was the rationale behind that?
The inspection criteria is so that way they have an idea of what is required for an inspection and what it all pertains to, what they get with it, the whole process. The load test, a lot of customers call in looking for a load test because that's what they were verbally told to get by the city or the insurance company, most of the city, and it goes ahead and gives them an idea of what would be needed after an inspection is performed.
Perfect. I want you guys to modify that to say, listen, while I get you the specialist, are you still on the computer screen right now? Or would you like me to send you a sample inspection that we do residentially or commercially? Because you have some questions about load tests, let me send you a video of a load test in process of a residential home. Let me send you a typical residential inspection of a house your size in New Jersey. Because we have thousands of videos that we can make samples. Got it? So right now you're going to give the
So you
client an
don't want them
option.
going to the website?
Are you still on the website? Yes, I am. Great. Go, as I look for your specialist to speak with you, okay? If not, I'll call you back. And by the way, Sarah, they're not going to call you back in 15. You're going to call them back in 15 and say
Yeah.
what?
You're going to call them back in 15 minutes to check in and see if anyone had reached out to them, and then you're going to go ahead and attempt to connect them or find out or have gotten a number already for them
Right.
and be able to answer that question for them.
So that's the whole 15-minute rule. They've called in, you said somebody's going to call you back soon, and if they haven't, you call them back in 15 because you've already built the website, you already built the page, you already spoke with somebody and said, listen, I think I'm going to quote them 49. You call them back, has anybody called you? No. Well, you know what? Let me handle you. Let me, I've looked at your case, and what they should be charging was $389. Let me see if I can answer all your questions. So you basically prepare to speak with this client when in actuality you were never going to connect them with anybody. But those 15 minutes is what you use to build the Evernote.
And confirm the pricing.
And speak with your people, your managers, to say, hey, I think this is an 80%er. Because you may think of it as an 80%er only to have your manager come in and say, well, who are you speaking with? Well, I'm speaking to the agent. Well, who's the agent? Well, the agent's a real estate agent. Somebody's buying a house and they don't want to pay the inspection fee. And your inspector, your manager's going to say, dude, There's two calls here. There's the client who needs an inspection, and there's the agent who handles many houses like this. You better go back in and turn this into a 20%er. But a 20%er to the real estate agent who you're going to develop a rapport with for the next 6 months to a year. And now, what kind of number you think you're going to give this agent who does a lot of property in New Jersey? Right? So because you brought that information back to your manager and they basically have reminded you that you have now one client, that you have two, he's going to basically say the client itself is a dog, but the agent is a new opportunity for 100 inspections. So what do you do with the very first inspection? Low or high?
Low.
Low.
You always want to lowball it and bring them in.
Bring that, not the client anymore. I don't care about that job anymore.
Bring the
real estate agent, which is going to have its own Evernote. So that on that thing, it just became two Evernotes. It became the client Evernote and the address and everything, and then it became, you went out to the website and you looked up Dodge Realty. You checked their website, you checked their Facebook page. You went and created a vendor, real estate vendor list for that particular client. Got it? All right. So, with that being the case, let me see if I have anything else that it says down here. Ask customers to describe fire escape system, balconies. This is little notes at the very bottom. On the back, you have a drawing of the fire escape. Now what do? We're on drive-thru. What's the reason why you're there?
Because you're taking orders.
You're doing an order taking because they came to you with a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're leaving with their first financial problem. What's their first financial problem?
The inspection.
How much is it?
Depending on the size and complexity and what it is, residential or commercial.
So you got a $389 problem. They were looking for a free estimate.
Which
You've
means
just
they're looking for
educated
which
them.
doctor.
Okay? So with that, you're now going to move into a different category, right? Because you just got that call. You did your best to inform them that the process, the correct process, is not a free estimate. The correct process is a pre-load test evaluation form where you get a copy, the city official gets a copy, and then you hand this copy off to vendors who can price out the job. And who watches the job? We do. Or an engineer does, right?
Yes.
But if the client does not want any of those things, what is at the bottom of all our websites?
What they can do is they can go ahead and get the photos sent over to us, and we can go ahead and give them a quick little free consult.
Well, that's actually, before I get to that, that's the
Or-
free thing. So at the bottom of the firescapesla.com, whatever, or the firescapesdallas.com, what's at the bottom? Why don't you click on that page? So do firescapesla.com and scroll to the bottom. And what is on there?
It's firescapesla.com.
No, it's firescapesdallas.com. The other one's Reg 4 Firescapes, Reg 4 firescapesla.com is what I gave because it's Reg 4 in LA. So, but otherwise, firescapesboston.com. They're all the same. Look at the very bottom. What do you have at the bottom?
All work performed by a licensed.
No, go up one, up a little bit as it loads. Those two documents there. What are those two documents?
The NFPA and a confidence test.
Right. So that's called our emergency survival pack. So at the end, when you're ready to get these people and it's an 80%er, you say, are you at the website, or would you like me to send you a copy of this? If you look on the website, look behind you, Mr. Milches, you can see on the bottom. See the left side there is, what are you supposed to do? You see that, Gabe? So you can tell them to go there, and when you click on it, it opens up into a full page of this that they can print out.
Yeah.
You see it?
Right there. Yeah.
That tells you how an engineer is supposed to act, how a repair vendor is supposed to act, and how a paint company is supposed to act. And you see the next thing next to it? It's one of the preload test confidence tests. It's a blank one. All right, so we also give them a blank one of this, and out of the National Fire Escape Association. So we give them this form to fill out, blank, because now you're doing the walkaway close, right? So they got one of these online, right? So that's how you get away. You say, so if you want me to send you, or do you want a copy off our website? If you're at our website, click on those two and print those out and do what with them? Because I'm trying to close you for $49, you give me every objection in the world, and I say, no, because you want me to come out for a free estimate. And what I say, grab these and do what with these now?
Print them and look them over.
Print them and look it over, right? Because I want you to take this to the city official and ask them if this is what the rules he wants you to follow. And is this the form you're going to make anybody fixing my fire escape fill out upon completion and the load test? You got it? So you're throwing an 80%er down the chum line, you're giving him a survival pack, which is a life preserver and a little candy bar to eat, and you're saying for him to go where with this piece of paper? To who?
To his city.
Go to the city official and say, because they're going to tell you, no, that's not what he wanted. And what do you say? If you're on our website, click that and print that, or would you like me to send you an email that you can send to the city official saying, is this the rules you want to follow? And is this the form I got to fill out? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, okay, whatever, I'll print it out or whatever, right? And you're still an 80%er, right? So this is all dequalifying people. Got it? Every objection they give you is telling that I'm an 80, I'm an 80, I'm an 80, I'm an 80. Okay? So you give them a survival pack. In case an iron worker shows up, can he get some information out of this?
Yes.
City official get information out of this?
Sure.
Yes.
Painting companies can get information out of this?
Yes.
Are the codes down at the bottom?
Yes.
Who puts it out?
The association.
The National Fire, is it Fire Escape Engineers that put this out?
Nope.
It's the National, it's an industry standard,
Yes.
right? To educate the city officials? Now, you've just identified this as a person. Oh, but then he comes in and says, oh, but I already have 2 other people giving me free estimates. What do you ask for, Sarah?
Report.
Can I have a copy of the report? They didn't give me a report.
Oh.
And can you come out and give me a free estimate, please?
No. You can do
You
it.
can't just say, no, Sarah, what else do we have? Tell me about the free evaluation. That's all scripted. There's no such thing as no. I can't do, I'm not going to work for you for free. But let me tell you how you're going to work for me for free. Tell me how I'm going to work for you for free.
If you can go ahead and take about 20 to 30 photos and send them over to us, I can go ahead and have them reviewed, and we can give you a free little 15-minute course.
Perfect. That's kind of fast, but let me tell you how I say it.
I talk fast, period.
Well, you have to talk
Especially
slow, and this
when I'm on
and
a
it's going to be
phone.
scripted. But let me tell you a story. Everything's a story. I need you to go near your fire escape if it can be done safely. I need you to take some full shots of your fire escape if it can be done safely. I need 4 to 8 photographs from underneath the fire escapes or more. I need 4 to 8 photographs from the top or more if it can be done safely. Send it to us, and I'll schedule you up for a free 15-minute review or consultation.
Consultation.
Because which one has more value?
A consultation?
A consultation. And during that consultation, if I have enough photos and videos, what can I give you? A free estimate. So give me a report from somebody else, which then nobody's giving you reports. Otherwise, I'll schedule myself up for a free consultation because you went out and took those photos. Otherwise, ready? If they say, I don't got time for that, will you send somebody out here, please? I'm getting some other people coming out. Is your company interested or not in coming out and giving me a free estimate? What do you
Send
say?
it to the chum line.
Which is?
Let me go ahead and reach out to one of my
Which is free estimates, right? So what do you say to them? I understand.
Let me put you in touch with some of our
Local vendors.
Right.
And they'll come out, they'll call you directly,
Yes.
not through us.
Yeah.
And they'll come out, and by the way, when they give you a price, it already includes a certification by us, inclusive in the price.
Great.
So I'll have them call you, I'm gonna put this out, and you should be getting anywhere from 3 to 5 calls from these guys. And if they never call them, what do you say? He calls back a week later, dude, nobody's called me from the company, those free vendors. It's because it's free.
You get what you pay for.
They're very busy right now.
Yeah, that's right.
On average,
Yeah,
I've
about
seen
5 to 8 weeks.
I've seen them 3 to 5 weeks out. Got it?
That's our commercial.
No, they're 3 to 5 weeks out. A lot of these free estimate guys, when you call them, they're about 3 to 5 weeks out. By the way, how are the vendors you're calling?
Yeah,
coming
that's
along?
right.
How's your vendors?
Have you received
You already
your
had 2
reports yet,
bids.
right?
Why don't you just go with the bids you got? Got it? So we win, lose, or draw. We're gonna win. Got it? So $100 off. It's on the website. Free, $100 coupon. How do you get that? I see you got a $100 coupon on Farscape Engineers and Farscape Services. FarscapeEngineers.com has a $100 coupon or free evaluation. What's that about?
That's to give them $100 off and bring in more.
So you quote them $389, $489, and they, well, can I take advantage of the $100 coupon? What do you say?
Sure.
Sure. Let me make a note here. So why we have a $100 coupon on there?
Loss leader promo.
It's a loss leader promo. They say, hey, I'm already on the Farscape Engineers website, and because you already know that information, you have to quote them $489, knowing that they're on the Farscape Engineers site. So what do you quote them? $389 or $489?
You're gonna quote them $489, so that way when they get their $100 off, it's really $389.
So there you go. You look like a hero. You're like, hey, that size fire escape is $489. But because you're on our website, did you see the $100 coupon? No? It's $389. Oh, that's great. So we've done 1,000,001 reasons why, and if you don't record every script you've ever done, every call, and I don't care if it's 50 or 100, and go back and start tearing them apart, you really don't understand sales, whether you're an order taker or an order maker. You gotta listen to the scripts, you gotta modify, clean up, and you gotta, again, memorize your scripts, and then Mr. Milchess will tell you and teach you how to internalize. Memorization is what I have to say. Internalization is why I say what I say, because I know the whole entire backstory. So, Gabe, this goes back to you. What kind of inspectors am I looking for?
Very thorough ones.
What 3 things must they have?
They must know what they're doing.
What it is they're looking at?
What it is that they're looking at.
Why did it get that way?
Why did it get that way? And thirdly, how to fix it.
How to fix it.
How to fix the function.
So now when I'm sitting here and I've got CSRs going through this, they know what is the call about, don't they? Inspection of the drawing, whatever. You know why they're calling? But you better ask some questions. All the questions are in here so you can get the story. Because they're going to come with you the truth or some bullshit.
First, they're gonna come out with some bullshit, but
Right.
little they're
30 years, I've never had this problem before, I don't know why they're picking on it now, the insurance company, blah, 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 you know, my second bathroom, you know, it doesn't matter. Okay? And this is the 80-20 rule. Guys, this process and where we're heading, the money we need to expand rapidly is only tuna fish. We want to identify all the tuna immediately in the residential and the commercial market. Identify only going to build tuna boats. Everything else we want to retail out. And who do we want to retail it out to? Chumline and all our friends who are going to become future tuna guys. But in the meantime, what are we feeding them? Low paying, low quality, bitching, moaning, groaning people who don't have a pot to piss in. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a pot to piss in, does anybody offer a finance program?
We do if their credit is approved.
So what's the finance program, sir?
The finance program, you have to go through
$10,000 job. Tell me the finance program.
$10,000 job. It would be, you have to get a down deposit. I can't remember the percentage on the down deposit.
50%.
50%, and then the other 50% would be done over 3 to 6 months.
Okay, 3 to 12 months.
3 to 12 months.
Okay, and how does that help somebody who came with an original problem, you left with the original problem plus a finance problem? Why does financing help those people, primarily residential people?
Because when they go through the financing and everything, it's obviously not going to be as hard on their pocket because it takes us maybe about a week to fix a fire escape. So instead of them having to do the whole 100% payment in a week, they can go ahead and they can stretch it out and do a little bit at a time. So now it's not killing them every month.
That's good where it is, but you're helping financial people. Now, you can't have a bank take care of them. So if all of a sudden they have good credit, who do we put them through? Bank of America? Wells Fargo? And they're going to put a mortgage on the house. It's really, we basically, so step one is basically a homeowner, not refinancing, but a line of credit kind of thing, right? Otherwise, if you don't want to go through that and you want to have interest-free financing from us, and everybody's pre-approved, that gives us how much down, Sarah?
50.
And spread out over how many months?
3 to 12.
Based on the size and complexity of the remaining payment, right?
Correct.
That's it. So here we have a finance program to help these people, because that's one of the conditions. They may have a problem. I want to go with you guys, but I can't afford it. Great, you may want to take advantage of our financing program.
Because we recognize that sometimes these things come up and you're not necessarily prepared to handle it.
Exactly. But you want it done right, and you want the 10. So what's the, let's give the package before we put a stop on this, check in with the office. Somebody want to tell me what is the
I don't think we're going to be
silver?
checking in.
What is the silver? Yeah, I think we're gone by now, right?
6:30 over there.
Yeah. So tell me, bronze package, Sarah. How many years?
The bronze package?
Bronze warranty, how many years?
The bronze one is, I think that's the 5-year.
It's a 10-year now.
Is it the 10-year now?
What's
Okay.
the silver?
15 to 20?
It's 15.
15.
What's the gold?
20.
20 years to 30 years if it gets galvanized. If it goes galvanized, it goes 30.
Yeah.
If it's just plain painted steel, brand new, what is it?
20.
So on a fire escape that replaced certain components, what was the warranty on the new components that changed?
On the new components, it will be 20.
20 to 30 if I put some
Yeah, if
galvanized
it's
in
galvanized, but just a regular, it's
there.
20.
And then if I scrape and paint, do a full refurb on certain things, what's that? That's a silver package?
That one's the 10.
The 15.
I mean 15, sorry.
And then if I do a spot repair here and there and I leave some things behind, some old bolts, what are you going to get? Minimally on even on old bolts that I've
Look
silicone
at
shut
10.
10 year. Compared to our competition, what are they giving you?
Maybe 5 if you're lucky.
1 year. Everybody out there has 1 year. Anybody else copycatting us? Okay? Anybody else out there? Oh, the other guy told me 10 years. Say that's great. We've been in business, write this down, since 1971. That's when I got hijacked into this crazy business. So I've been offering 10-year warranties for how many years?
Since 1971. So
How many
that
years
would
is that?
be 34?
44 maybe?
45.
I've been offering this warranty for 44 years to some of my clients, including Harvard University. Who would you say gave you a 10-year warranty? And so whenever we have any of our competition who has that previously worked for me or did whatever, what do we say to that? What do we say to that client when they say, well, this other guy, he's giving me a 10-year warranty and they used to work for you? What do you say?
Awesome.
No, you say, well, it's great, but he hasn't been in business over 2 or 3 years,
Yeah,
so I don't know how he's coming up with 10.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I've been here for 41 years, or 44 years, and I think, and here's the best line we always tell our clients, ready? The reason that individual's no longer here is because they didn't dot their I's and cross all their T's. So I'm glad they're copying this warranty, which is great. Should be in writing, but by the way, they've only been in business 1, 3, or 5 years. And what's that tell you? Right?
Absolutely.
You gotta have some substance behind you. Otherwise, to say what I say means nothing.
Yeah.
To do what I do, I can give you some references on my 10 years and 20 years.
And I think that's where the rubber meets the road here, guys. If we're talking in terms of 10, 15-year, 20-year warranties, there are some, I can give you some real-world examples of clients that have been with us for that length of time. I won't say whether they're good or bad, but what I will tell you is I would be skeptical maybe just a little bit for an organization that's only been around for a couple of years offering up 10 years because they haven't had the breadth of experience or the time in business to be able to really provide that. If they've offered that to you, maybe you want to find out. Maybe they should give you a name of one client that they've had for that long. Maybe a reference is appropriate. You tell me. Do you get references on the other job? Do you have work ever done in your house? Yeah, really? What'd you have done? I had a kitchen remodel. Great. Did you get any references there? I did. Well, why would this be any different?
That's it.
Right.
So with that, guys, we're gonna stop it here. It's 3:30. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. But what I want you to do, because we recorded all this needs to be watched again. Okay? Because we just went through the sale process. We invested 2 hours, I'd say, into a piece of paper. There's a whole story of what's going on here, and some of these lines need to move. Because as you listen to some of your stories and your recordings, the story's gonna slow down and bottleneck in certain areas. You know what? You're aggravating the client here. You know what we need here? We need we need to move this question up here. Because sometimes these clients, they're in a rush. You know what I'm saying? If all of a sudden you start talking to clients and you start detailing something way outside the scope, I got a toothache. Think about this. Just think about it. I'm a dentist. You know, hi. You know, who do you talk? Do you talk to the dentist or the receptionist?
Receptionist.
My tooth killing me. Can I come in right now? Well, can I tell you about all our dental implants? And can I tell you, like, oh my God, can I get an appointment? Got it? So there's a process for everything, guys. Mr. Milchester's going to tear it apart because every now and then you have to break it up into several pieces. And that piece is we may have to do it all at once. We may have to have our CSRs immediately instill the 15-minute rule, which is, and I'm just giving this is all wide open now. Hi, what do you need to speak with a specialist? Great, let me tell you, if nobody calls you within 15 minutes, I will call you back. That's when you've captured them, you left them on the website, you go and put the whole thing together, you gather your knowledge, you speak with a senior, 389, what do you think? Girl, okay, now you're going back in, you have a story. Nobody's called you? All right, you know what, I'm just gonna take this on myself. Let me help you, my name is Sarah, and I'm just gonna take this on, and boom, you're gonna go through the whole thing, but now you've given the client a breath. You've left them at the website, and you're gonna say, so as you've seen on the website, which they didn't really look thoroughly, but as you've seen on the website, it says this there. As you've seen on the website, it says that there. And did you click on what type of fire escape you have for your region? Did you click New Jersey? And did you click on the five typicals? Great. Did you found which one looks like yours, more or less? Oh, it's that one? Oh, number 3, great. 389. Because some people order by number, and some people order by the, you know, like today I was down in that Mediterranean place. What was I ordering? By number, or was I ordering by a plate visual?
Plate visual.
Right? Chinese place. What do you order? Szechuan, dude, you look at a little photograph. Oh, that looks delicious. I want to eat that one right there.
That's on number 7.
Number 7. Number 7. You know, no, that's Szechuan Fun Gong Wao with chow mein. Oh, number 7. Oh, and then they yell something crazy back to the cook. You know, no, the crazy American feed him cat. Okay. So with that, guys, this is what the next conversation we're going to have is. We're going to talk about NFEA and city officials, and why right now this is great, but this is just a fishing pole in the line. You know what I'm saying? So 10 minutes. Let's make it 5 because it's. Let's not take it too long because I don't want to. I know time is short for a lot of people, so let's make it 5 to 10. Let's try to make it 5, and I'll see you all back here. You want to shut that down, Gabe?
Yeah.